Hey, what's up, you guys? FilmFan0599 here again, and welcome back to the universe of the Bluetubers. And today on Universe of the Bluetubers, I'm gonna be reviewing Queens of the Stone Age's Villains. Queens of the Stone Age's Villains is a 2017 released album, and it is the 7th studio album from alternative rock band Queens of the Stone Age. Now, I was very much looking forward to this album. This was actually my most anticipated album for the rest of this year. I'm a huge fan of these guys. They're literally in my top 5 favorite bands of all time. I really love their music, from stuff like, of course, Rated R, or my personal favorite, Songs for the Deaf, or Lullabies to Paralyze, or even, you know, their latest album before this one, Like Clockwork, which I thought was magnificent. So I had a lot of expectations going into Villains, and also that the producer was Mark Ronson. And of course, you know, Mark Ronson has done stuff for like Amy Winehouse. He also did like Uptown Funk and stuff like that. So I was very interested to see where he was going to take the direction for this, and of course where the band was going to take the direction for this album as well. So, and I gotta say, they did it again. Man, this band, they did it again. They really did. They made another magnificent album. I loved Villains a lot. And I do mean a lot. This album is phenomenal in every way. I loved Villains. I love the style of it. I love kind of somewhat the cockiness it has in some of its like songs and stuff like that. Like, it's so great. I love the instrumentation with this so much. This is probably my favorite element of this entire album. Like, Mark Ronson makes his name, like, big on this. Like, his production is really big on this, and it's really good. Like, I really love it a lot, and it does such a great job. Like, seriously, I love the flow of this album. It really is. It's so fantastic. The flow of this album is so great, and I love it so much. It's so fantastic. It definitely is. I love Villains a lot. So let's get into why I love this album so much. Let's first talk about, of course, the production. The production, like I said before, is really great. It really is. I love the production on this thing. Like, kind of somewhat groovy vibe that it has to it for a lot of the songs. It really does, and I really think it works a lot with it, because, you know, Queens of the Stone Age, they try not to do the same things over and over again, which I really appreciate with them. And, you know, I can understand that they wanted to go with a more upbeat route for this album, because their last album, Like Clockwork, was a very, I want to say depressing, kind of like very, you know, saddening type of an album. And I can definitely see why they wanted to go with a more upbeat one this time, because, you know, they didn't want to make something like Clockwork again, at least this very soon. So, you know, I like the direction that they went with Villains for this one, and they did a really good job with it. Like, I love the production on this. The production is so great. Like I said, it has a very groovy vibe to it. Definitely Mark Ronson's name is really on this production. He did a very good job. I will say that. He did a really great job to me. And yeah, the production's really great. I thought Josh Homme did great on his vocal work. Like, his vocals were really fantastic on this album. And I just love a lot of the uses of the instruments on this album. Like, they do such a great job, especially the guitar. The guitar work is absolutely incredible. A lot of the riffs on a lot of these songs are really fantastic. They seriously are. Like, there's so many memorable guitar riffs on this album. Like, I really love the guitar work a lot on this. And the bass work was really fantastic, too, on a lot of the songs. So, yeah, definitely the bass work was fantastic. The drumming was absolutely incredible. So, yeah, everyone did their part fantastic on this album. Like, every single member of the band really did fantastic with their part on this album. It really shows, and it's really great. So, yeah, the production is absolutely phenomenal with this thing. Now, let's talk about the songs. And you know what? Since this is my most anticipated album of, well, for the rest of this year, we're going to go big. We're going to talk about every single track on this album. Yes, we're going to go track by track on this baby. We're going to go track by track. So here we go. Get yourselves ready because we're going to talk about all 9 tracks on this album. So here we go with my track by track review, starting off with track number 1, Feet Don't Fail Me. Feet Don't Fail Me really does start off the album quite well. It does. It's a really fantastic opening track because like the first minute and a half of this thing, it really like it's really different. Like you're hearing like kind of like this dark type of opening, and it really just takes a 180 once you start hearing the groovy type of instrumentation coming in about like once it's almost 2 minutes into the song, this is when you really hear that groovy instrumentation coming in, and it's really great. Like I love it how it's telling you it's gonna go one way, but it goes another way. And it's really great. Like I really love the really groovy instrumentation with this. Like the beat is so great. Like it's like you can strut to this. Like you know, like in those old 70s movies, like you just can strut to this beat. Like it's so great. I love how Josh Homme's vocals sound on this song. He does a really great job with them. And really what I think kind of what the song is kind of like about from its like lyrical content, because it's like in the in the chorus he goes, you know, oh don't feet don't fail me now. Like is he like trying to like impress a woman with like his dance moves or something? Like that's kind of what I'm getting at this. Like that's what I really was kind of getting with Feet Don't Fail Me. And it's a really great opening track. Like, it really opens up the album a lot. It's definitely one of my favorites off of the album. Mainly for that beat alone. That really groovy, still like, this is something you would hear out of like a 70s movie, is great. Like, I love that groovy beat to it. It's so fantastic. I love that a lot. Definitely Feet Don't Fail Me really starts off this album quite nicely. It's definitely a fantastic opening track and definitely one of my favorites off of the album. Now we get into track number 2, The Way You Used to Do. Now this was the first single released off of this album, and when I initially first listened to it, I really liked it a lot. I thought it was a very solid single, and I still kind of stand by that. I still think it's a really solid song, a really good, you know, song to really have as the first single. I could definitely see why they went with it as the first single. It's a really, you know, kind of danceable type of song. Like, you know, it has like that doom 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 doom. Like it has kind of like that beat to it, and it's kind of like a danceable beat. Like if this song was ever played at a party, which I highly ever doubt, but just in case if it ever was, you can definitely see me on the dance floor dancing to this, because that danceable beat alone is really fantastic. Like I love it. Like the riffs with that song are really great, especially when you get into the bridge, which is like 2 minutes into the song. It's by far my favorite part of the entire song. Like I just love the instrumentation with that part of the song. Like it's so great. Like I really enjoyed this song a lot. I definitely have gone back to it a couple times. It's definitely a very solid song in my opinion. Definitely could see why they went with this as the lead single. Josh Homme's vocals sound really great. He has kind of like a swaggerish vibe with his voice in this song. It really does seem like that. He does a really great job with it. And what this song is kind of about, like this song is about his wife when they met for the first time, and when kind of like several years later when they met up again. Like that's kind of what this song is about, and it's really great. Like I really like it a lot. I think this is a very solid tune. It's definitely just one of those tunes you could just sit back, listen to, maybe have a nice little dance to it. It's really good. I really like The Way You Used to Do a lot. It's a very solid song in my opinion. And the last few seconds of this song transitions into the next track, which is track number 3, Domesticated Animals. Domesticated Animals is just like The Way You Used to Do. Very solid. I like it a lot. You know, definitely it's kind of slow at first. So it's a bit slow at first. It kind of has a low-key guitar riff to it at first, and you know, it's very slow at first. You know, I really like it. It's very good. I love how Josh Homme's vocals sound at some points with this song. It's really great. Like, I do like the kind of the low-key guitar riff it does have in the beginning of the song. Like, it's very, very low-key. Like, it's very somewhat, like, slow and very low-key. That's the best way I can put it. Very, very low-key guitar riff to this song. And this song is kind of maybe, it's, like, kind of noticeable. It's about, cynical politicians, basically. This song does get political. This is a song that gets very political, and it's great. I thought the lyrics were really great to the song. By far my favorite element. Like during the mid portion of the song, it really does get louder and louder, and towards the end of the song, it's by far my favorite part of the entire song. Is like you hear like the backing vocals start to scream, like they're screaming, like Daisy, 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 we all fall down. Like you hear just the backing vocals screaming, well, kind of Josh Homme's just being really, really calm about it, and you just hear those backing vocals just screaming it, and it's really great, and it really mixed well with me with that ending portion to the song. So yeah, Domesticated Animals, really good song. I really like it a lot. Definitely a very nice tune in my opinion. And now the last few seconds of this song transitions into the next song, which is track number 4, Fortress. Fortress is another one of my favorites off of the album. I do think this is quite a phenomenal song. I love Fortress a lot. And Fortress is kind of about like keeping your feelings all in a fortress, basically. Just keeping them all together, not really letting them out, just hiding them. And, you know, there's a point in the song where it kind of, like in the chorus, where it's like, you know, don't be afraid to let your feelings out. Like you know, fortresses all fall down. Don't let, kind of like saying, don't let all of your feelings left inside, like kind of let them out. Don't be afraid to do that. And I really love the lyrical content with the song a lot. And I really like kind of like the message that's kind of putting in the song, you know, where it's like, you know, don't be afraid to hide all of your feelings. You know, if they're not even happy feelings, like just let them out. Like just kind of, you know, don't keep them in, because, you know, that's not good. Don't keep them in. And I really love that a lot. It's a really nice message. I really do think the lyrical content with this song is quite beautiful, and I love it a lot. It's definitely some great lyrics to this song, and the instrumentation to it is really great. Like in the beginning of the song, you hear kind of this electronic kind of, like you just hear, like you hear kind of like this electronic part of the song at first, and then you hear this nice little guitar riff, which I think is fantastic. It's definitely one of the best riffs off the album. It's so great. I love that riff. And Josh Homme's vocals sound really, really fantastic on this song, dude. They really do. It's just a really fantastic track. I love it so much. It's definitely one of the tracks I've been going back to the most. It just has some really, really incredible lyrical content to it, and a really nice message behind it as well. And they do really execute that very well in this song. I love it. It's such a great tune. Definitely one of the best off of the album. I love it so much. So yeah. So on to track number 5, Head Like a Haunted House. I love that title so much. Like, it's so great. Head Like a Haunted House. And as for the actual song, this is my second favorite song off of the entire album. If there's 2 songs I've been going back to the most out of anything off of this album, it's this one and another one I'll talk about a little bit later on. Head Like a Haunted House. Some people have put this as like one of the least best songs off of this album. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Head Like a Haunted House is so much fun to listen to. Like, it's such a fun song. So, the song starts off with, like, a guitar riff that goes down, 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 down. Like, it has, like, a nice guitar riff you hear at first. And then you hear all the drums, and then you hear the drums coming in, and then that incredible bass line. And just all the instruments. What I love the most about this song, and another song I'll talk about later on, it really uses all the instruments perfectly. Like, it just, all the instruments are used so perfectly in this song. Like, I love the guitar on this song. The bass sounds incredible. Definitely the second best bass line off of this entire album. Like, the bass line is so great. And the drumming's really fantastic, too. And, like, Josh Homme, like, his vocals, he kind of has, like, some effects to his vocals on this song, and they sound great. I love them a lot. And just the lyrics are so great, too. Like, I love the lyrics, especially one point during the song where he goes, "Hey, it's making me sick. You okay?" "I'm fine." Like, it's really great. Like, I was laughing when I first heard that at first. Like, it was so great. It really is. Head Like a Haunted House. It also kind of has, like, a kind of, like, you know, like, kind of the sound the song with a title like this needs. Like, it kind of has, like, a very dark carnival type of sound to it. And it's really great. Like, I really hope they get a music video for this song, because I would really love to see what they would do with the music video for this song in particular, because it would be great. Like, I would picture, like, a dark, like, they're in a dark kind of, like, Dark Carnival, and like where it's like murderous and all that. Like that's what I would picture that music video looking like for this song. And yeah, I love Head Like a Haunted House a lot. I don't really get why some people say it's like one of the least best tracks off this album, because to me it's my second favorite track off of this entire album. I love this song so much. I love the fast-paced nature to it. It's so great. Just the use of all the instruments with it and how Josh Homme's vocals sound on this song, it's really great. I love Head Like a Haunted House so much. So yeah, definitely a fantastic track in my opinion. Now the next track I want to talk about, Un-Reborn Again. Un-Reborn, which is track number 6. Un-Reborn Again is kind of like a drug trip in a way. It really is. Like, because what this song is basically about is like how people think drugs can make them feel youthful forever. And it really does do that. It has a nice atmospheric feel to it, and it's really great. Like, it really makes you feel like you're on a drug trip. It really makes you feel like have like this really nice atmospheric form of it. I love that a lot with this song. It's really, really great. Like, I love the instrumentation to it. It's very, very beautiful and very atmospheric. Like, I think this song is very, very atmospheric. I love it so much. It's such a great song. Like, I love the lyrics to this song. I think the lyrical content is really great. Josh Homme's vocals sound very fantastic on this song. So yeah, Un-Reborn Again is definitely a song that just takes you on kind of like a drug trip and really trips you out, to be honest. Like, it really is a song that just trips you the hell out, and I love it. It's so great. Like, it's definitely a song that just trips you the hell out. I love it so much. Definitely another fantastic song off this album. I love Un-Reborn Again. Definitely a great tune. So the next track is track number 7, Hideaway. Hideaway is another song that I kind of think is getting a little bit too much flack right now, because it's another one of those songs like Head Like a Haunted House that thinks it's one of the least best. Now, it's not like one of my absolute favorites off of this album, but I do think Hideaway is a really solid tune. Has a really great kind of like smooth, kind of sexy groove to it, honestly even a haunting type of groove to it. It really does, because what this song really talks about is like a predator and its prey, really having like a romantic love relationship with themselves, and it's really great. Like, it really has a haunting type of vibe to it. It's really good. Like, I really like it a lot. Josh Homme sounds really good on it in terms of his vocals. The guitar work is really good on it. Like, it really is. I love the guitar work with it. It's so good. I really like it a lot. I really don't get the flack that it's kind of getting right now. Like, Hideaway is a really solid song. Like, it's not one of my favorites off of the album or anything, but it is a solid tune. I do like Hideaway a lot. It's definitely a very solid song in my opinion. So yeah, Hideaway, very good track. So, the next track I'm gonna be talking about is track number 8, The Evil Has Landed. The Evil Has Landed was the second single released off of this album, and you know, this is my favorite song off of the entire album. Remember how I said earlier, like, there's another song that I really think uses the instruments really well, like all of them? Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. The Evil Has Landed uses all of its instruments to perfection. Okay, the song starts off with like Josh Homme saying, "Close, come close," and then you just hear that subtle guitar riff, that like you just hear that solid guitar, like that solid, that kind of just very subtle at first. And then you just hear it getting louder and louder, and it's so great. I love the guitar riff to this song. It's so fantastic. It definitely is a really great guitar riff, and it really starts off the song kind of mystery-like at first. Like, you just hear that guitar going, and it's just so great. And then the bass line on this song is so fantastic. Like, it really is. The bass line is really great. It's definitely the best bass line on this entire album. It really is really fantastic. Like, and the drumming is really great too. And Josh Homme's vocals are really great as well. Like, he'll be like, "Call your living spree, like it'll sound like that in the song. It's really great. Like, it really works for the vibe with the song. Like, it really, really does. And kind of like, I love how somewhat subtle it'll sound at first, but once the chorus hits, that's when the instruments will get a little bit more intense. And I love that. It really works with this song. And this song is like 6.5 minutes long. It really doesn't feel like that. Like, they do their best with 6.5 minutes for this song, and I really do think they do quite a great job with it. And there's a guitar solo in this song that sounds absolutely phenomenal. I love the guitar solo that happens in this song during like, I want to say once it's like maybe 3 or 4 minutes into the song. It's really great. I love the guitar solo with it. And then, you know, after the final verse, we get into the kind of the outro of the song, and man, is it great. Like, we hear the drums go like, here we come, and then all the instruments just kick in once he says come. Once he says that, all the instruments kick in, and it's kind of like, to me, like what that makes me feel like is that the evil has officially landed. Like, it's coming. The evil is coming. Like, he keeps on saying, here we come, in the outro for a lot of it. And that's what really makes me think, like, oh, now the evil has officially landed in the song. Like, they're here. They're coming to take over the world in some way. Like, the evil has landed. And I love that. And I love how it's kind of a play on the eagle has landed. Like, I just love how that title is kind of a play on that. That's another thing I had to mention. I just love how that's kind of this title, The Evil Has Landed, is kind of a play on that, of the eagle has landed. So yeah, I really love that outro a lot, because it kind of tells that, like, the evil has landed. The evil is here now, and they're here to take over. So yeah, I love that so much. The Evil Has Landed is a perfect song, in my opinion. I'm glad they went with this, actually, as a single, because, man, this song is great. It's perfection. It's by far the best song to me off of this entire album. And it's by far the track I've gone back to the most. It's so great. I love The Evil Has Landed so much. It really is a fantastic tune. It definitely is the best song off of this album. Okay, now on to the final track, track number 9, Villains of Circumstance. Villains of Circumstance really does end the album on quite a nice note. I do think this is a great closing track, and really does wrap up the album perfectly in my eyes. Like, it starts off very slow, very kind of sad at first, but then once the chorus kicks in, it really, has a nice upbeat tempo to it, and I really love it a lot. I love the instrumentation to this song, and really the lyrics kind of talk about, a long distance relationship and how difficult that can be. And I love that. It really has some nice lyrical content to it. Josh Homme's vocals sound really great on the song. So yeah, Villains of Circumstance really does end the album on a nice little note. I do like this song a lot. It's definitely a really good closing track, in my opinion. Really does end the album on a nice, solid note. So yeah, Villains of Circumstance has some nice instrumentation to it. I love it, especially once we get to the chorus, and it kind of is a little bit more upbeat. It's really great instrumentation. I love it a lot. So yeah, Villains of Circumstance really does end the album on a nice note, and it's definitely a very good closing track, in my opinion. Villains by Queens of the Stone Age is an absolutely incredible album. I love the kind of more groovy direction that they went with this album, a much more upbeat tone with this album. It worked a lot, and it really does show that it does work a lot. I love this album so much. It's definitely my favorite album of the year so far. It's so fantastic. So it's time for my official rating on Villains by Queens of the Stone Age, and my official rating on Villains by Queens of the Stone Age is a big old 5 out of 5, baby. The first album of 2017 to get the big old 5 out of 5 for me. This is a phenomenal album. If you have not listened to Queens of the Stone Age's Villains, go listen to it. Even if you're not a fan of never really listened to anything for the band, I definitely recommend this, and recommend checking out all their other stuff. So yeah, it's a really great album. I loved it a lot. It's by far my favorite album of the year so far. It definitely deserves a 5 out of 5. So, what did you think? If you have listened to this album, what did you think of it? Leave in the comment section below. And I'm FilmFan0599, and we will see you out later. Peace.